Hello to the 3 or 4 people that actually watch my videos that aren't Game Grumps compilations. I know it seems like I've been on a bit of a hiatus, but I just got done ranking every character and ship from LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, and that's a big project. I deserve a bit of a break, right? I also worked on another thing that you won't see for a while, but that's done, so I'm making this video. But my next projects I have in mind won't be as colossal as LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, and they'll just be like small little things such as this one-off episode. I hinted at this at the end of my Every Ship Ranked series, but I don't think anyone really cared. But yeah, you know, Battleblock the Year, that's the game. That's the game I'm talking about now. This game can either be mind-blowingly easy or infuriatingly hard. Like, unreasonably hard. Those who have played this game know what I'm talking about. And I do suggest playing this game, but expect to be disappointed with the ending. I haven't played the first Behemoth game, Alien Hominid, but I can say I was extremely disappointed with the endings of both Battleblock the Year and Castle Crashers. I haven't played their newest game, Pit People, but it does intrigue me. I think it's an early access. Anyway, in this game there are 13 weapons to collect. None of them are really required to finish any levels, but they're just there to help. In fact, I rarely use them in my playthrough, and you'll probably barely see me use them in the background footage during the video. But I'll be ranking them anyway. This won't need to be split into 2 parts, so let's just get straight into it. Now, this guy is probably the least useful in my opinion. Now you see, the Battleblock the Year wiki compiles all the weapons into 3 groups. Group 1, which is for offensive purposes, Group 2, which is for productivity purposes, and Group 3, which are the ones that don't fit in either of those categories. Vacuum is in Group 3 because literally all it does is pull stuff towards you. Yeah, that may sound helpful, but in reality it's only good when you're racing against someone else, or if you're playing a game of soccer, which I don't do. I mainly just play single player because I have no friends. This weapon is kind of useful, but I've never had a reason to use it. I never really need to use weapons, but I need something to rank, so here you go. Anyway, the fan shields you from incoming projectiles, which I guess would be nice. Is basically your own mobile fan block. You know, those blocks that emit wind, and then they have like a switch and stuff. You know how it is. Anyway, I feel that this and the vacuum were a waste of my yarn. In case you don't know, every level in this game has 1 golden yarn, and you need 5 golden yarn to buy a weapon. That means you need 65 yarn to collect every weapon in the game, and that sucked to collect them. I mean. The dodgeball isn't that useful. Here, I'll break it down for you right here and now. You throw it, and it stuns whoever it hits, including you. Like both the fan and vacuum, the dodgeball is in the group 3 of the weapons. It's not dangerous, nor is it productive, it's just there to be there. I guess in theory this weapon could be fun in multiplayer, but then again I'm not into multiplayer that much, mostly because I've known to play this game with. People would rather play games like Rocket League and For Honor. By the way, I'm pretty sure the hype for For Honor is gone. This weapon is probably the most outlandish of the weapons. I mean, just look at him. It's a fat frog with a tiny top hat, bow tie, and cane. And to top it all off, he blows up if he runs into someone. Is that the least bit normal compared to the weapons I've already discussed? Well, if I could call them weapons. That's their official name for this game, but look at the ones we've discussed so far. A fan, vacuum, and a dodgeball. I find it unbelievable that a frog is the most dangerous weapon we've come across so far. This weapon isn't nearly as out there compared to the frog, and it's still not useful, but hey, here it is. That's right, the ice cannon. Its only purpose is to freeze enemies. That's it, nothing else. Like the vacuum, fan, and dodgeball, the ice cannon is in the group 3 category, aka the whatever I have no purpose category. But good news, after this there are no more group 3 weapons, meaning that the rest of the weapons on this list are either dangerous or productive. So that means that they are actually worth having. So thank God. Now here's the main weapon I use. I know you may be asking, shouldn't your main be your number 1? Well, the answer to that question is yes, but the fireball is the coolest. I'm serious. There's only one other weapon that rivals the fireball's coolness, and that will be discussed later. The fireball is in the group 1 weapon category, meaning that it's used for offense, so that's good because that's my favorite group. The only problem is the fireball is short range, and if you're too close, you'll catch on fire and die as well. So you have to have like perfect timing with the fireball. The boomerang is a give and take. There's some really good things about the boomerang, but there's some bad things as well. I'll start with the good things. First off, it can collect gems. If there's a tiny crevice that you'd rather not jump into, one toss with the boomerang will solve the problem for you. It's pretty handy. Also, it can stun enemies, so that's always a plus. But of course, it can be a problem, especially when the enemies themselves have this weapon. It can get quite annoying. Also, you can stun yourself if you're stupid enough to run into your own boomerang, which happens often. This is probably the most weapon-like weapon in this game. This is another one of those weapons that look cool but aren't really that good. It's like communism. It sounds good but it doesn't really work when it's actually applied. The only reason why the grenade is above the fireball is because the grenade is easier to control. It's pretty hard to get the range right, but with the grenade, at least you get a bit of leeway lengthwise. I do think the grenade is thrown too high, but you can't win every battle. I know this weapon looks like a deadly ass weapon, but believe it or not, it's not really dangerous at all. The force ball is in the group 2 category, meaning it's for productivity, and its main purpose is to push back enemies and also to perform super jumps. I believe force ball is the only weapon that specifically boosts you in the air. There are others that you could jump on to go higher, but this weapon, all you have to do is shoot at a wall when you're really close to it, and up you go. The disc is pretty peculiar. You know how I said the force ball seems like an attack, but it's actually for productivity? Well, the disc is the exact opposite. It wouldn't seem like a dangerous weapon, but it is. It's both meant to knock back and destroy enemies. It just depends on the state it's in. For example, if it's in the air, it will knock back enemies, but if it's on the ground and an enemy walks over it, they will blow up. It's pretty strange, all things considered, but I guess I can't call anything strange in this game if a walking frog is considered a weapon. Wow, we're already in the top 3. What a ride this has been. LEGO Star Wars Every Character rank pales in comparison to this series. Just kidding, I kid. Anyways, the dart gun isn't very versatile in what it can do, but it sure is helpful. It's basically a Nerf gun that actually makes you look cool. You shoot the dart and then you use it as a platform, and that's pretty much it. But is that not helpful? Because I think it is. Its success rate is a lot better than weapons like the fireball. And since I'm pretty much the first person to ever rank the weapons in Battleblock Theater, you have no place to judge me. Ah yes, the airplane. Who knew that a frickin' paper airplane would be capable of blowing someone up? That's right, this is a group 1 weapon, meaning that it's meant to kill. You might think that the airplane is very similar to the disc, and I can get that, but you're in a lot more control with the airplane, and that's why the airplane is above the disc. First off, the airplane flies for longer, and second, you can choose to blow it up at any time it's in the air. With the disc or any other offensive weapon, you kind of have to aim well, and you have to keep in mind the range of the weapon so you don't kill yourself in the process and just hope for the best. But with the airplane, just a press of a button and boom, it blows up. Straight up. And the first spot goes to an acid bubble. Oh, but I have bigger acid bubbles that come out of my butt. Good one, Matt. Really hit it home. But seriously though, this acid bubble is an unsung hero. It'll instantly burn any enemy it touches, so that's pretty good. But you can also use it as a platform. Just jump on it while it floats and up you go. It's actually a really useful weapon, and it fits into both Group 1 and Group 2, and it's easy to make fart jokes with it, so that's all that matters. Well, that does it for this little one-off. I have an idea for a new video that isn't every blank ranked, but I'll be sure to return to this series of mine. Every blank ranked is like my baby, but I need to branch out and have more of a variety. To be sure, the Grump compilations will still roll out every now and again, but have a good summer, internet, or however long you have left. I don't know, I wrote the script just as summer is starting, so who knows when this comes out.